So what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's me, Mike, and today's episode we're going to be showcasing a species of gecko that I like keeping a lot. I thoroughly enjoy keeping them, and they're an endangered species. So I figured I would do something a little bit different in filming outside because if you're gonna tell, my very pasty self probably could use some sun exposure. So let's go ahead and let's get this started. So to start this off right, let's go ahead and let's go over some background information about the species itself. The species was first described in 1994, so that's relatively recent. And it actually has two scientific names: Gecko bandini and Gecko ulikoski. Generally, as of right now, a lot of people refer to the species by Gecko bandini, but sometimes I have seen on the internet different sources where they still reference the species by the other name. Generally, the common name of the species, though, is the golden gecko, and that has to do with its extravagant coloration. And these animals do fire up and down just like a lot of species of geckos. They actually get really, really dark, but when they're relaxed, they go under this awesome like color metamorphosis where it goes from such a dark color to like these very pale purple and gold scale colorations. So this is one of my golden geckos right here. This is Bacardi. A lot of you guys, if you follow my Instagram, have seen me post him quite frequently. I figured I'd bring him outside, let him get some real sun exposure. And it's okay to do this every once in a while with your geckos. If you take them outside and hold them for about 20 minutes or keep them in a small enclosure, as long as, you know, the outside elements like the weather is suitable. For here where I live in Maryland, it is best to probably do this during the summertime. Generally, you shouldn't do this unless you're going to be supervising the animal at all times. Now, Bacardi is relatively calm for this species. They're actually a very flighty, nervous species, and it might have to do with the fact that he might be captive bred, but I'm not 100% certain. He was actually given to me as a gift from my brother, so his origins is kind of unknown. I think he might actually have a high chance of being a captive bred animal because he's actually really calm. However, right now he's kind of being a little bit nervous, so I don't plan on keeping him out here for very long. But I figured, like I said, it would be good to get him some natural sunlight exposure, because even though that this is a nocturnal species just like most geckos, it's actually good and beneficial for them to still have some kind of UVA, UVB exposure. And honestly, the real deal, the sun, is the best way to get that. So I figured I would let him come outside and kind of hang out. He's kind of calming down a little bit. But like I said, I would not do this unless you're supervising them, and I would keep them in some kind of enclosure while you're doing it. Free handling them outside, there's too much of a risk where, you know, they will jump and escape. The species is much better as an observational pet versus actually being a handling pet. These guys are very, very, very nervous, like I said before, and sometimes even though he's really calm, he will do something very sporadic and kind of just bolt from me at random times. They are overall one of my favorite species to look at. They are great looking. He's kind of fired up right now, so you won't really get to see, you know, how light that he can get. And like I said before, it's a very pale purplish lavender color, and on the back is a lot of gold. Another really cool thing about this species is one of their defense mechanisms. Just like a lot of geckos, they can do caudal autonomy, which means that they drop their tail, but golden geckos actually can musk. And trust me, Bacardi's done it to me quite a few times when I first got him. It smells like a very strong vinegar odor. And overall, as a species, they're actually a very charming animal, and they're very observational. And sometimes when you do see them out during the day basking underneath of a light, which when it comes to care, even though this is not a care video, these guys do like it on the hot side because of from where they come from. They only come from 2 locations in Vietnam, and within the last couple of years, the ICUN decided to put the species on their red list. Now, Golden geckos are great because in captivity they will take to crested gecko diets, and they also will take to many different kinds of feeder insects. One that is established in captivity very well, you're going to have less issues than one that's going to be a wild-caught import, and unfortunately this is a species that is imported regularly. You can literally go on most distributors' websites and buy them for from maybe, I don't know, I think it's like $9.99, which is dirt cheap because they're an unwanted species in captivity, because they have a bad rap for being, you know, nervous, flighty, and some people say feisty. I have never really gotten the feisty personality from the 2 that I've kept, and I've kept 3 overall, but I can say that at least 2 out of the 3 were really nervous animals, and they did not do well with handling. And they are super fast, like lightning fast. They attain about sizes about up to 8 inches when it comes to males. So they're not a very large species, but I find that they also do very well in enclosures that are about 18 by 24. And you want to have a decent amount of decorations, but you don't want it to be crowded, because at nighttime the species is very active, and they like being able to jump from different branches or decorations in your enclosure. So make sure that you provide as many like vertical climbing surfaces as you possibly can. But hands down though, do I recommend the species to you guys? I will say that they are not for everybody. They are not like a great pet gecko when it comes to like the average Joe trying to buy an animal that they can interact with and they can hold. However, I think that people should definitely be captive breeding them in captivity, just because the fact that they're an endangered species, and the fact that they're still getting imported from the wild despite the fact that they are endangered is kind of disturbing. Even though they may not be for everyone, at the end of the day, it's really up to the individual. But that's pretty much all I had for you guys today. It's a short video, and hopefully you guys liked it a lot, so please do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, spread the word about the channel, and I hope you guys like more content, and I'll have some more coming to you soon. So again guys, thank you, and I will check you later. Bye.